Dobsters, dodecahedrons. That's a new one that my friend came up with. Alright, so I'm just going to go over a little bit more of the second round picks that win our dynasty draft. First one I'm going to go over is Luther Burden. Bear down. His best game in college was against Boston College. He has elite rack run after the catch. As soon as he get that ball, he's gone. His play speed is faster than I expected. He's fast for being a little over 200, 5'11". I guess I can consider him more like a Deebo Samuel type. He is a great blocker, which is important, especially in Ben Johnson's offense. He has superior separation. I see that all the time. But sometimes I think he's a diva. He gives up on plays a lot. I just saw a report at camp that he almost got in a fist fight with Ben Johnson because Ben Johnson was getting on him for giving up on plays. That's what I want from my head coach. I want my head coach to get on top of my players. So I'm glad that him and Luther Burden almost, came to blows. It's hot as fuck out there, so that they're going to like go at it. And yeah, I'm glad that Luther Burden is, getting a little bit of taste of his own medicine. Like, you need to play, buddy. You're in the NFL right now. He plays a lot like DJ Moore. I'd expect him to usurp him in a year or two and become the DJ Moore of our offense. Runs a lot of short routes, but he does have the capability of running all the tree routes, 1 through 9. He knows how to use his body control, so when he's up in the air, he can catch it at his highest peak. He can twist his body around, catch it on the side. There's a lot of good things about him. Me and experts mostly agree. The only thing that I didn't find out, but I did find out from the experts, is 75% of his career catches were within 10 yards. He's definitely worth an early second round pick, maybe even bottom of the first round when you're doing a dynasty draft, rookie draft. Let's see. He wasn't injured in college. He did have like a hamstring issue in training camp in the last like 2 months or so. He did unfortunately drop 7 passes in 2024, and he had a 13.29% drop rate, which is ridiculously high and should not be that high. So hopefully he works on that during the training camp. I see a lot of potential from Luther Burden. And I could see him taking over and becoming that DJ Moore of our offense. But let's hope it all works out. I didn't overdraft him, or actually I didn't draft him, only because I went for Roman Dunze. That's my boy. Hopefully you guys already know that. Hopefully Roman Dunze does well. All right, the next one. Oh, his best game was against Boston College. The worst game was against Alabama. Next guy I got coming up is Trey Harris. Trey Harris' best game was against Kentucky, and his worst game was against Florida, which he actually didn't play that much anyway. I think he got injured that game. Looked like maybe a groin injury or something to do with his ankle, something around those lines. Anyway, what I noticed is he lacks potential against the press coverage, and he's also like kind of afraid of it. Like, he tries to avoid it all the times. He has a huge frame, so I'm not sure why he does that. Some receivers want to get physical, and some receivers don't. He's definitely one of those that don't want to get physical. When he has the ball, he uses that stiff arm well. Like, he probably has the best receiver stiff arm when he has the ball in college of last year. His routes are very average. Like, he doesn't have the break or separation to get away from him. He does have fast feet and long strides, but that doesn't really help him in his routes that much. He did, like I said, have a groin injury and missed 5 games last year. He dropped 5 passes in 8 games in 2024, and he has a 7.2% of drop passes. Once again, these are kind of high, and obviously, like, you can't expect a receiver to catch everything, but I mean, you better catch it in NFL though. Justin Herbert's a capable quarterback and should be able to get the ball to him. He might be a better pick for this year if you're looking for an immediate impact in terms of him versus Luther Burden. But overall, I think Luther Burden will have the better career. Of course, coming from a Chicago fan, so doing our best dynasty. Not we're not experts. No one's an expert. But anyway, experts and myself mostly agree. I didn't see the experts call out his press coverage, how it affects him too much, which is weird. Usually we're pretty on key of what we look for, and I saw like the press coverage really affected him. So when he comes into the NFL, that's another thing too. Trey Harris mostly plays outside, so he's going to get pressed quite a few times. We'll see if he can overcome that. Jim Harbaugh is obviously a capable coach as well, so we'll see where that goes. The other one I did was tight end Harold Fannin Jr. Trey Harris's best game was against Kentucky. His worst game was against Florida. Actually, I think I mentioned it. Anyway, Harold Fannin, his best game was against Texas A&M, and his worst game was against Northern Illinois. He's a zone killer. A lot of teams that play zone on this tight end will regret it. He knows where to find the soft zone. He's aggressive. He'll come back for the ball. He'll find that soft zone and he'll stay there. Very smart IQ, for a tight end, especially one that got picked in the third round. He's unbelievably squeaky, powerful, and he reminds me of Gronk a lot in the terms of his speed and his powerfulness, and just his ability to get away from tackles with, just a little shimmy. It's very uncanny. There's been a lot, and I mean a lot, of tight ends over the years where they're coming out of college and he's like, oh, baby Gronk. And I get it. I don't want to call him baby Gronk, but he reminds me a lot of the way he plays and the way in which Rob Gronkowski plays. Just this little shiftiness, how powerful he is, and just, his game speed where he looks like he's running slow, but he's actually killing everybody. He's outrunning all the defenders. It's really amazing to watch. He's undersized, 6'3", I think only 240, something like that. But he uses his strength and athleticism to his best, as best as anybody can. He's not the best blocker, but he'll do his job. Very gritty and on the line. When I was watching tape, I see him always push or press somebody, the defensive ends when he was out going for a route. Experts myself are different in a lot of ways. I see separation on his routes and faster playing speed, and the experts don't really see that. They actually knock his route running ability and press coverage separation. The press coverage I can see a little bit. He is undersized, so I could see that being kind of an issue. But they played him a lot in the slot. Another thing I noticed that Bowling Green did with Harold Fannin was they would give him a lot of screens. That's becoming more and more prevalent in the NFL these days, but they're not going to use him as much as he does. The only thing I can say is that the 117 receptions that he got in college, that's not by accident. You can say he had a lot of screen passes or whatever, but he was running routes too. And I could see him going into an offense where he has that capability to, use his route running ability and his strength and athleticism to get away from all that. No injuries at all, actually, in college, or I guess anytime. I didn't see anything at that. He only had 3 drops in 2024. 3 drops out of, I don't know how many targets, but he had 117 receptions, so that's really, really good. Like I said, he's aggressive. He's an aggressive receiver. He'll come back for the ball. He'll jump up for the ball. He'll do anything to make sure that defender doesn't get the ball. That's what you like to see. I actually got him at 2.10, and I'm actually feeling really good about that. At 2.10, I did pick him over, what was his name? Mason Taylor. Actually, I scouted him, so I'll do a little bit on him, even though Mason Taylor went before Harold Fannin. Let's see, the next one that we have is going to be Jadon Blue. Jadon Blue is on the Cowboys now. I couldn't really do a best game, worst game thing. He only had 160 carries, and before that he was battling Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson. And then also they have another running back that's coming back this year for them. He is fast though. That's what I did notice. He is speed play fast, so when he's on the field, he's gonna burn some people. He looks to be patient and but his O-line is really elite. Like in college, when I was watching it, they blocked and made big ass holes from him, and they also made like anything outside was taken care of by either the a moving guard or a tight end. So the blocking was extremely well for his college days. He is a good receiver, and he seems to love contact. He likes to put his shoulder into the defenders. He could get touches with the weak Cowboys running back unit. I know they got what's his face, the Denver running back, Javonte Williams. I know they got him, but he could take some carries away from him. Javonte Williams isn't that good. I mean, I guess we'll see this year. I guess you could say he didn't really have a shot in Denver, but I don't know. I don't really believe in Javonte Williams. But anyway, he could get touches. He could get touches. Jadon Blue could. His best case scenario would you have to wait a couple years, but he could be like a Danny Woodhead. Danny Woodhead was a menace out of the backfield. He probably started the whole trend of running backs getting 6, 7, 8 receptions out of the backfield. Him and then funny enough, Austin Eckler on the Chargers. So funny enough, like Jadon Blue can do that on the Cowboys if they use him correctly. He had no important injuries, maybe like sprained ankle or like a strain of some sort for like maybe a game, but he came back in, played through injuries if he had any. He did fumble 5 times in 2024, which is every 30 touches since he had very little carries. So five times is a lot for a running back to fumble, especially in college. He'll need to definitely work for that if he wants to get any work in the Dallas offense. The last person I did was Mason Taylor. No important injuries. Same with him, Jadon Blue. I couldn't really do like best game versus worst game. He was very consistent though. 4 to 6 receptions every game, and then 40 to 55 yards a game. There wasn't like a huge game he had. There wasn't like a huge oh my god moment for him. To me, the tape shows me that he is legit slow. He is very slow for a tight end. I know it doesn't really matter too much, especially after we were talking about Jason Witten this past week. But he does have sticky hands, so he'll be able to catch a lot of passes. He looks pretty good at catching those passes. He can jump up and do it all the time. He uses his body well, and he can help the quarterback with poor throws, coming back for the ball. Obviously, he doesn't have the skill set as Harold Fannin just because of the speed alone, but he's smart enough to come back for the ball when he needs to. He could get targets as he has no real competition at tight end for the Jets and really at receivers. He has, receivers. He only has Garrett Wilson basically for the Jets to compete with, and then of course Breece Hall from the running back. But besides that, he might be that third option. We'll see how the Jets treat him. I'm assuming he's going to start. They picked him in the second round. I mean, he's a high pick for a second rounder. His play speed does seem slow, but he does play hard. He could have an impact. He doesn't give up on the plays. He's always going to try to get open, or he's going to try to help his quarterback by coming back, or he's going to block. He's definitely as far as I can see, he's the best blocking tight end out of this class. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing because the blocking isn't really, prevalent in this tight end class. It's hit or miss. So we'll see with that. He's good at finding soft zones as well. And then his football IQ is slept on. Like I said, he's smart. He knows where to be on the field. The fact if he can get there or not is going to be the difference. Just because we don't know, I don't know. I don't see us like he's a long strider, but he's not fast when he's taking those long strides. But he also had no important injuries to discuss. That's all I have for today. Monday, we're going to do, or Tuesday, we're going to do, like a mock draft for like a startup dynasty league and also a sleeper dynasty league. We'll do both of those, and then we're going to go over like 2 quarterbacks, I believe. I have another draft coming up for this other league. We finally got that started, so I'll probably go over a couple of, things that have happened in that league. Maybe, hopefully, I'll do like a trade. Hopefully, that guy offered me trades is in this league as well. I think he is, and we'll go over all the trades that he did and see if he won or if he lost, and then we'll see how many trades I do. I do have the 5th overall pick. I'm looking at. I know I there's 6 people that I would take and don't want to trade out of the top 5 for. So I'm going to probably keep at 5, and we'll see what I get. So I don't know if YouTube's going to watch this or whatever, but they did catch me, and I guess they sent me a warning not to do gambling or parlays or whatever, which I'm going to do, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do parlays. I'm going to do like a what's best receivers to play for that week, and running backs and quarterbacks and tight ends, and I'll kind of go from there. So we'll see what we do. I plan on doing, you know, what I said I was going to do, but we'll see. I don't know. YouTube, we'll see if they block me or do whatever. But like and subscribe, and then you don't have to look for it, because I do promote some of my videos just because I feel like, we aren't experts. No one's an expert. It's all about luck and whatnot. But I feel like experience is a big part. And me and my buddy, we've both been in this Dynasty League in Dynasty Leagues for 10 years. So we have the experience. But let me know what you think. Leave some comments. Let me know if you disagree with anything. Like, we could take criticism. It's cool. We could talk about it. Like, no worries. We want this to be an open platform, and you all to, give us a challenge and see, put our NFL, skills to the test to see if we actually know what we're talking about. All right. Peace out, y'all. Have a great day.